Hello everyone. This is not my regular videotaping day, but I decided to redo the tinfoil video because there was audio issues at the time and some of you had difficulty hearing. So I'm going to try to duplicate that video. However, it may be a little different, but the same concept. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and get started. Today I'm going to be using two different folders, two different patterns because I love embossing folders. And I have already cut down my matted pieces for my cards. I will not necessarily be sticking them onto the cards at this point in the video, but afterwards I will get that done so you can see the final product. But as usual, you're going to have your piece of tin foil. You can have it, tear it off and just make sure that it's as nice as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to go ahead and get that, basically embossed. So that's fine. Now, I am hoping that the lighting is not too bright. I was trying to reduce some light in here, but it looks like it refused. So I'm sorry if it's a bit light in here. Okay, so I have my two pieces and I am going to go ahead and get started. Just remember your little paintbrush. Get your little water in any little cup that you wish. Just enough water in there so you can spread. I usually use the Elmer's glue. Now, just a little tip while I'm here. This was, I got at a party or something, this little champagne disposable thingy thingies. So what I do is I just land my glue in it. So in that way, it's right in front of me. So now I'm going to go and squeeze some glue into here. Now, the glue, we don't want it too runny, but at the same time, we don't want it too thick either. But just enough to, be able to get that tin foil stuck on there. So before I continue, I'm just going to go ahead and mess with this a little bit. Fine. So you see it's runny, but not as runny as it was the first time. Okay. So we're going to go ahead at this point, and while this is sitting here for a moment, I'm just going to go ahead and just cut. Let me just make sure that it is wide enough because that's the other thing too. Okay, so we can use this piece. I'm just going to cut a little lower because that's for the allowance that we need. And let me see this one. Again, just make sure when you're cutting, you just cut enough. So when you're ready to fold it over, you have some overage, if that makes sense. And thank you to, I think it was Renee who mentioned about the alcohol, using the alcohol inks. But I tell you, something happened. I went to the store because I wanted to get some alcohol ink or something. And guess what happened? I came out with everything else but the alcohol ink because there was a sale at Hobby Lobby and I got carried away. Now, don't judge me, okay? You cannot, you know very well you cannot let any of us loose in a craft store where especially when there's a sale going on. So, and even if there's not a sale going on, we still always come out with stuff we don't need anyway. So guess what? I guess that's what happens to us. People cannot trust us in a craft store. Almost spilled that over. So now we're going to go ahead and I think I'll do this. Be careful, guys, because I got some of the glue on this. So whenever you're applying the glue, you want to be careful it does not get on anything that you have to mess you up. Now it's going to fold up, but that's okay because you're going to eventually get to flatten it or what have you later on. So we're going to set this one aside. So as you can see, it's, it's right there. It's nice and crisp. Just make sure all the edges, are down. Let's get the other one done. You can use any side of the tin foil you want. It does not matter. Now at this point, we're going to go over and take the other one. So it is stuck. Let's see. It looked like the end of this one decided it wants to play games, so we're going to go ahead and stick it up a little bit more. But if it doesn't, that's okay, because you're going to be folding everything over, so it really doesn't matter. So you're going to cut, you know, just enough to have a nice little hemming on the inner side. It doesn't have to be very wide. If you like it wide, it's up to you. It's just about getting it folded under. I'm just leaving just enough, so when I'm ready, I will just get that. And then on the edges, you're going to cut across, because you're going to be folding and you want it to fold over nicely. Then you take your regular glue. I kind of like the Elmer's glue for this one, because I think it's a lot more, I trust it more with this particular thing, because I think it goes over really nicely. So just go ahead and get the glue all over to the edges of your paper. And I usually use 65-pound cardstock. All right, so now it's just go around, take your time. And while you know, folding it over, kind of make sure you get it right onto the edge of the cardstock. So when you're folding, you want to make sure it's actually the edge, there's actually, sorry, the edge here is actually sitting directly on the cardstock, so you can feel the cardstock in the folding. Okay, so we have the first one. So as you can see, just a nice plain one. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one done. Now I just want to show you here, this had a pocket in there. Just make sure, just look at, you know, all over again and make sure that it is, every part of the paper is sitting, you know, nicely, because that's definitely going to be helpful. So same thing here. I'm going to, not too far in, you know, just a little, you know, if you can see. I'm trying to see if I can show you. See, here's the edge of the paper and here's where I cut off. So yeah, so something like that. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for this one. Both. Okay, we have both ones there. I'm just going to smooth this over with my hand, but again, this is fine. Now for the embossing, you know, to really look really good, especially I'm thinking if you have any air pockets in there, I'm not sure if you could take it out, but definitely look out for that, just in case. But because this one was did really nicely, so you know, there are no pockets, but it looks like this one has a little pocket in here, which may affect the quality of the embossing folder imprint. I am not sure, but we will find out right now. Okay guys, in a minute, do this. Let's go ahead and use the first folder. So hopefully it comes out on the right side, because sometimes I confuse myself with those. Okay, so look at this, ladies. See, it's really pretty. So it came out really nice. So that's the first pattern. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is, ladies. That is just so gorgeous. So we have, again, embossing folders are so nice. I do love embossing folders. So you can choose to just do your imprints with your embossing folders and your foil, or like I mentioned before, feel free to, you know, cut out flowers or shapes or anything that you would like with, you know, these pieces. So I will go ahead and lay those on the card bases, and I will have, you know, a photograph of them as my thumbnail so that you can see the outcome. Thank you, ladies, for watching, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And without you, I will not feel motivated every day to come and do those videos. So thank you so much again. And to my new subscribers, thank you guys so much for your support. Enjoy the rest of your day, and see you guys on Sunday. Bye.